Arr!
He steals the deed, claims he owns the land, kicks us out. And now he wants to meet here?
The cheek on that man.
Wait, did you just say cheek?
What? I was bored. So, I've been watching a lot of British shows. Like, a lot. Some of them are pretty decent.
Phew! I thought you were already being corrupted by Michael's potty mouth.
Michael? Please. He can't even say the word without giggling. I still can't believe that Victor can claim he owns the lake like this. I get that he has the deed, but shouldn't the city or a notary or someone have a copy? What about a land registry to prove that it belongs to your family?
Sadly, no. City Hall couldn't find anything at all. I wouldn't be surprised if our despicable ex-aldermen were also somehow behind this.
The clever old snake.
Yeah. So without any other document to act as a counterproof, the deed is all that matters. Every clerk said the same, even the janitor.
Don't worry, Ava. We'll find a way out of this mess. Besides, it's not all bad for you, is it, Miss Famous? I re-listened to your radio interview yesterday.
Again? It's already your fourth time.
Told you I was bored. Plus, I can't help it. I'm just so proud of you.
Aw, thanks. But it was only in a small local station, nothing fancy.
So... And it's not just the interview. You rewrote your novel so quickly.
You gotta thank Victor for that. I had nothing else to do.
Sweetie, I'll never thank him. Not for that, not for anything. Why don't you just accept the compliment? You deserve it.
Fine, fine. It's true that it's all pretty exciting. When Veruca told me they were going to fast-track my book, I almost screamed. Marlo, I'm having a sense of déjà vu.
Arr!
Victor. If you're planning to convince me again that you changed your ways, you're wasting your time and ours.
Now, Miss Mendez, why would I do something like that? I already have what I want. Or, to be more precise, I already reclaimed everything that your family stole from mine.
I see. So you came to gloat.
You know we'll find a way to protect this resort from your bulldozers, as we did with the Manor.
Oh, no, I do not wish to tear down this place any more. It's quite the opposite, in fact.
You want to build it up?
Exactly. As your landlord, your prosperity is my prosperity.
Ah, you want to collect rent.
A fair share of your profit, like my ancestors received when they, too, reigned over this lake. Plus, as your lord...
Land, Lord.
I wish to have a say in your project.
You're kidding.
A say and a share of the profits? Nothing more?
Nothing more.
All right. Deal. Now let's finish the restaurant we started. This hiatus has been long enough. So, Victor, what would you like to start with? We usually begin with the floors and walls.
We should start by tearing this silly restaurant idea out of your head. You're building a resort, and yet you do not have a single bedroom for the guests. You need to build bedrooms and start receiving clients as soon as possible. I won't tolerate your little project on my land if I can't have my share, and a share of nothing is nothing.
But we already have the kitchen.
Remove it.
And this great idea of doing murder mystery shows in the restaurant.
Doesn't matter. Huh? Shows, you say? Oh, I mean, I may have spoken too hastily. A restaurant in a nice setting like this lake may bring in customers even if we don't have guest rooms yet.
All right. Glad to hear it. Also, just so you know, I was planning to build a guest house very shortly. I already called the surveyors.
Yes, yes, don't worry about it.
What's going on? Victor completely changed his tune.
Yeah, and even this landlord arrangement is super weird. We should probably try to make him talk, learn what he truly wants here. All right, should we install the floor? I thought we could either go large tiles or a nice dark wood. What do you think?
Hmm.
What?
No, it's nothing. I just wish you wouldn't sabotage our project at its very start.
This looks great.
Seriously, I'd eat on that floor.
Let's forget the tables then. Victor, what do you think?
Hmm.
Victor, I need to talk to you.
If you must.
Why the heck did you really change your mind about the lake house? What's the plan here?
You always assume I have some sinister plan.
You always do. I think the last time you said exactly the same thing, that I assumed the worst of you. And then when I gave you a chance, you stole the deed from my uncle's safe. So yeah, what's your plan?
And I told you I already have what I want. Well, the truth is, this project of yours is simply nicer than what I expected. I can see the value in what we're doing here. Plus, you already have such a nice audio system in your bathrooms. I couldn't fathom tearing it apart.
Wait, you're talking about the audio system you chose?
Of course. Is there another one?
Okay, and what about the restaurant? You were so against it at first.
Oh, oh, I might be partial to murder mysteries and dinner shows. Sue me.
I hope I won't need to. Sarah, you said seriously, but you were not really serious about eating on the floor, right? We still need tables?
Of course.
Now, what could we make? What would you prefer between...
Pardon me, but while you were busy, you're welcome.
He's such a jerk.
Yeah, I know.
The tables he got are pretty nice, though.
Yeah, I know. Victor, please don't do that. If you have an idea, share it with us, and we'll decide together.
You sound just like our good-for-nothing mayor.
Let's do something with these walls. What kind of shade are we thinking? And what material?
Maybe stones or bricks? Something mineral.
Oh, yeah, I could see that.
Hey, what happened? Where are our minerals?
What happened is that I objected to your flashy design.
You what?
Objected?
Well, there are two of us, three with Marlowe, and you're alone. Your objection is overruled.
Huh? Perhaps, but as your lord, my voice should weigh more than yours.
Again, landlord. And absolutely not. You asked for a say, not a veto. If you want a veto, build your own resort. The room is looking good.
Huh?
But our collaboration is not.
On that we can agree.
So either we go back to our respective houses and gear up for court, or we find a way to make it work. What will it be, Victor?
Do we really want to make it work with that guy?
With the situation we're in, I don't really see a good alternative.
I guess.
Any suggestion?
I do have one. You respect the evident hierarchy among us, and listen to my orders.
You'll respect my foot in your cheek.
Stop. No matter how deserved, violence is not an option here. What about splitting the work between ourselves? Victor, you would be able to decide, and so will we, as long as we keep the general design coherent. Seems fair?
To show my goodwill, I'll try to make this frivolous idea work. I can find us the perfect wine display.
Fine. And we'll continue to work on the table section.
Fine.
We already have the tables, so we should probably build some.
Chairs. They are so pretty.
You're awfully excited about these.
Despite all that unpleasantness, I'm just so happy that we're finally going to build our restaurant. And look at that. It's already taking form.
You're right. It's pretty exciting.
You know, I loved my cafe. But it was always only the safe plan. Yes, I saw the irony in what I just said. My safe plan still failed. Still, had I had the funds, my dream was to start a full, not just paninis and pastries, restaurant. And doing it with you, it's the cherry on top.
Aw, working with you is a dream come true for me, too.
Is it Cooper?
No, Jack.
Ew, don't tell me you and him.
Never. He just texted to confirm the time of my interview. Seriously, Sarah? Yuck.
A great wine display does not only display the wine. It keeps the bottles under the perfect conditions for protection and ideal consumption. Like so, this cabinet has individual cooling rods to keep each bottle at the right temperature. Be it white, red, or even dessert wines.
Huh? Victor? Are you talking to us?
Of course I am. Who else could I be talking to? Now, you better be listening. I won't allow good wines I hand-picked myself to be spoiled in your little canteen. Even if you're under my protection.
Oppression?
If you're serving me a glass of cold brie, I will tell my friends in the Ellenly Wine Tasters Club.
Brouilly needs to be served cold. Otherwise, you're missing everything.
How can a mere failed barista like yourself dare to...
What? Oh, sorry. It seems you're cutting out, Victor. I can barely hear you. So, this interview later, it's a big one, right?
From what I understood, yeah. Looks like the journalist Bedelia Hargrave is pretty famous in this country.
Anyway, I'm so happy for you. And proud. My bestie's a celebrity. OMG, this would be such a good name for a reality show. And I'd be in it. And I'd become famous. And then you could be in it too.
Never change.
I don't intend to. Are you nervous?
About you or the interview? Yeah, the interview is stressing me out a bit. Again, this is not just local media. Plus, last time I was on TV, the journalist totally ambushed me with Peacemaker's stupid plots. I hope this Madam Hargrave will be more professional and not just try to stir up drama.
Me too. But either way, I know you'll do great.
Overall, this went well? No?
Agreed. However, these chairs are simply not up to par when compared to my tables.
I think it's the perfect time for me to go. I really need to prepare for my interview. Should we put a pin in the renovations for now?
Oh, I see how it is. You pretend like we're all equal here. We all have only one voice. But when you have to leave, suddenly we can't do anything by ourselves. I would say I'm shocked by your hypocrisy, but you are a Blackwood, after all.
Act outraged as much as you want. I won't allow you to be in here without someone to check on you.
I can stay if you want. This way, we could catch up a bit after all that delay and build, well, let's say, some booths, and later a dessert cart. Don't worry, I won't lose sight of him.
All right, if you think it won't be too much of a pain.
Good luck.
I think you'll need more luck than me.
So, do you think we can build a dessert cart together?
It depends. Will you listen to common sense or stick to your usual rubbish?
Come on, Serena, control yourself. You can do this. Your bestie trusted you. You can't let her down.
You're talking to yourself now.
Beats talking to you. Hey, you know what? Let's work in silence. I think it'll be best for both of us. There. Pretty nice, isn't it?
I see that even the concept of silence eludes you.
OMG. Why, Ava, did you need to leave?
Olive, were you hiding from me?
I'm dreadfully sorry, Ma'am, but it was not you I was hiding from. Either way, I couldn't escape Master Marlowe's keen sense of smell.
Yeah, I tried hiding popcorn chicken from him one time. Long story short, I had to replace an entire cabinet in my kitchen. Anyway, who were you hiding from?
I am ashamed to say, but I am trying to avoid Marvin.
Marvin? Did something happen?
No. Truthfully, it's quite the contrary. Despite all my efforts to demonstrate my affection, he remains more distant than before.
I think that my uncle is feeling a bit lost right now. What did you try?
Well, I smiled at him. Oh, I also played a very romantic variation of Orpheus and Eurydice's second act.
And by romantic, you mean...
A variation from the early 19th century, of course. Marvin loved the romantic period in arts.
I see.
It's not enough, isn't it? I am truly hopeless at this pursuing thing.
Dang it. I would love to help you, but I really need to go prepare for my interview. I feel so bad, but if I don't prepare for my interview, I'll look like a fool on national TV.
Oh, right. I am truly sorry I forgot about your interview. Please, don't waste any more time on my silly little love problems.
Oh no, don't say it like that. I feel even worse now.
Hey, ladies. Ava, you're not getting ready?
Yeah, I was going to, but Olive is having some issues and...
Say no more. Olive, your humble servant has arrived.
You're sure? It's about Marvin.
Come on. Olive and I go way back. I know what to do. Plus, we're a community, remember? Just like Serena told you, we help each other out. Now go!
You're right. Thank you.
And that is how it is. Whatever I tried, he didn't seem to notice.
Yeah, I understand. For some time, I had the same problem with Ava. Nothing I did was ever clear enough. There always was this ambiguity. And I know you. I know you're even more reserved than I am. I'm sure your smiles were half hidden by your hand or something.
Not half. I'd say a quarter hidden. Tops. I didn't want them to be too extravagant.
Tss, Olive. You need to trust yourself and show him without any doubt how you feel.
Without any doubt? Maybe we could wait for Ava and a less dramatic solution.
Forget Ava. She'll be busy with her interview. Plus, I'm just the guy you need right now.
I do not want to seem doubtful, but why?
Because... Okay, Don't tell Ava, but when I was trying to charm her, and it was not going so well, Sam convinced me I could take some inspiration from rom-com movies. And I kind of fell in love with the genre. You have before your eyes Ellen Lee's greatest expert in romantic grand gestures.
Oh, Hazel, good morning.
Good morning. I didn't see you since, but I wanted to congratulate you on your radio interview yesterday.
You heard it?
Well, of course, dear. You were very articulate, and you painted your book beautifully. If I hadn't already, I would have pre-ordered it immediately after your segment.
Wow, that's very kind of you. Thanks.
Oh, sorry. You seem to be in a hurry. I didn't want to hold you.
No. Well, yeah, but you did nothing wrong. I have another interview today and I need to get ready. I was told that Madame Hargrave could be tough with her questions. So...
Hargrave? Bedelia Hargrave?
The one and only. She's pretty famous around here, right?
Yes, she is. But before that, she was also my friend during prep school. She can indeed be quite sharp during her interviews, but she's mostly like this with crooked politicians or CEOs. You should have seen when she questioned my brother after the Ellen Lee Festival scandal. I never in my life saw him sweat so much. However, for cultural segments, Bedelia is usually lovely and generous with her guests.
Really?
Yes, but if you still want to prepare yourself, I can help.
Yes. I mean, would you?
It'll be my pleasure. Nicely said. Now, she might also ask you questions about your recent legal problems with Peacemaker. Should I?
I'm ready.
You recently left your old publisher and joined Fairweather. Since then, you also have been engaged in several court cases against Peacemaker. Plagiarism, copyrights, breach of a wedding promise. So, what happened between you and your publisher?
It's a complicated story, but yes, I was engaged to my old agent, who was also Peacemaker's owner's son. We worked together, we fell in love, and eventually had some unsurmountable problems, so I left. At the same time, I also discovered that my publisher, Ira Colt, used my relationship with his son to manipulate me into signing a very unfavorable contract. I left Peacemaker as well. But we worked things out with my ex-fiancé, and he's even working with me and Fairweather now.
Wow, that Ira Colt must be quite angry at you.
I suppose he is, but he treated Jack like dirt all these years. You reap what you sow.
You're right. Unfortunately, it's just like Victor.
Victor,
Why are you bothering me again?
because you just threw dirt in my face, and I'm pretty sure it was intentional.
Another baseless accusation.
You mean just like when we accused you of being behind Marvin's accident? Oh, wait, I guess we had some bases after all.
It doesn't prove anything about the dirt you just received.
Yeah, whatever. Look, what if you worked in that corner and I work in that one? We're there in the back.
And not smell your cheap perfume. I'm very eager to try. What should I do in this corner?
I don't know. Ava talked about organizing dinner shows. Maybe you could install a special lighting system.
Dinner shows, right. Look at this beauty.
You're right. It's nice. But it's a stage, not a lighting system. Why did you ask me if you were going to do something else entirely?
To make a statement. I won't give in to the rabble.
Ugh. I walked right into that one, didn't I? I think this would be a perfect spot to install the bar.
A bar, you say? You should build the bar stools first.
What? Why?
Never mind why, just obey my order. This isn't a bar stool. You didn't listen to me.
Sure I did. Here's the bar. And here's the stool.
How dare you?
What are you doing here? This is my corner.
I don't see why you should have two corners and me only one.
Fair enough, I guess. I was thinking we could put up something artistic on this wall.
Yes, I can see some paintings. No posters about the next murder mystery dinner show.
Hey, that's a pretty good idea. Wow, this was a mess.
Unfortunately, I must agree with you. It's the same as when I was working with Hazel. Truly, you're just like my sister.
You mean the awesome lady who owns her ranch and solves crimes in faraway mountains? I'll take that as a compliment.
No, I mean the insufferable and stubborn girl who never listened to a single advice I gave, and now who betrays her family again.
Somehow, I feel this betray her family thing isn't about me anymore.
Indeed, I was lost in thoughts. We don't need to discuss this any further.
We don't need to, but still, you can understand that she didn't betray you, right?
Really? Wouldn't you protect your kid if you'd learned they made a mistake?
Having someone almost killed is a pretty big mistake.
What about when I begged her to not go out with my best friend, and she did so anyway? Isn't that betrayal?
And I just hung up the phone with the surveyors. They should be able to find a good spot for our guest house very soon. Whoa, what's going on here?
Nothing?
All right, and why are the renovations spread all over the place?
We tried a new method. The results were pretty mixed.
Okay, well, it's a bit chaotic, but everything you did looks so nice. Awesome work. Honestly, I was half expecting to return to a building in flames. This bar could use some shelves. What do you think?
Shelves? Shouldn't you be preparing or, actually be going to your interview?
Yeah, I was, but the interview was pushed back a tad, so I asked Jack to meet me here. And in the meantime, I thought I could squeeze in a teeny tiny bit of renovation.
Ava, this is coming from a place of love, but I think this is turning into an addiction.
I guess it would explain why I was shaking on my way here. I promise I'll join Renovators Anonymous later, but for now, let's build these shelves. Well, if everyone involved agrees, of course.
I suppose shelves might be useful, but after that I will need to be on my way.
Yeah, same, unfortunately. Oh boy, will it be a nice journey. Wow, those shelves look good, though.
Yes, the only thing missing around here would be the bar stools, I guess.
And why is that,
Huh?
Don't pay attention to him. See you later, Ava, and I know you'll be the best interviewee ever. Come on, Mr. Grinch. Seems like we're walking buddies.
Marlo, which of these bar stools do you like? There he is. Hey, Jack.
Wait, you're doing renovations? I thought you were getting ready for the big interview. I mean, it's a big deal. It wasn't easy for me to set up this interview with Bedelia Hargrave herself.
I know. I think I'm ready. I hope so.
Look, if anything, I can offer my expertness?
Oh, wow, you sure know how to use big words. But thanks, I'm all set.
Anyway, Bedelia should be in your good graces. I've been working on it. After this interview, you'll be a star among stars. And now that I've, shall we say, raised you to this level, I'm thinking of branching out. Working with other authors, I'll turn anyone into a literary sensation.
Lucky them.
I just need to find interesting authors who could be stars. I was wondering if you knew anyone?
Not now, Jack. That must be Sam. I asked her to help me choose some plants. Hey, Sam, perfect timing.
Hold on, you're the plant person, right?
Guilty as charged.
Does that mean you two are gonna ditch the prep work for some flowers now?
Relax, Jack. We've got some time, don't we?
Whatever you say.
And I say let's bring some greenery to the front of the restaurant.
While you do it, Sam, I'm genuinely curious about leaves and stuff.
What on earth sparked this sudden interest?
I've got some options here that I think will really complement the vibe of your restaurant.
These are fantastic. They really liven up the space.
So, being a gardener, is it tough? Any exciting stories? Interesting experiences?
Well, it's not exactly rocket science, but it's rewarding in its own way. Seeing something grow and thrive, it's kind of magical.
Ah, yes, I can relate. It's like seeing your apprentice shine. Been there.
Apprentice. Let's focus on these little green guys for now, shall we?
Right, let's spruce up the back of the restaurant with some plants too. All right, so for this area, let's take a look at these options. We want something that not only looks great, but also enhances the dining experience.
Plants can do that?
Of course, different plants can evoke different moods and even affect people's appetites. For example, lavender can have a calming effect, and mint can stimulate the senses.
That's fascinating. So what do you recommend? Perfect.
Well, you seem to know your stuff.
Oh, thanks.
So tell me about being a gardener. I want to know everything. And if you could break it down by chapter, that'd be very helpful.
Not sure why you're asking, but I could talk about my plant babies forever.
Trust me, she's not kidding.
Just yesterday, I planted some crocuses in my nursery. They're not just pretty, they have this fascinating tail attached to them.
That sounds intriguing?
Absolutely. Crocus was a young man hopelessly in love with the nymph Smilax. He was transformed into the flower that bears his name after his love went unrequited. So, crocus flower became a symbol of enduring love and longing.
Wow, you really have a way with words, Sam.
Oh, I didn't make it up. It's straight from Greek mythology.
Wait, you're not just a green thumb guru, you're also into Greek mythology. You sound like someone who should be a writer. Have you ever considered writing a book?
I don't know if writing's my thing, but editing Ava's book was a blast.
Oh, you were her editor? Why didn't you mention it?
Jack, I did. A lot. I mentioned that it was Sam who came up with the subplot.
What? Ah, yes, subplot. Very important. Adds depth and stuff. So, Sam, isn't that fate calling? Take my card. Give me a ring when you're ready to become the next big thing. Well, I'm sort of like the fairy godmother of authors, you know, so you can trust my gut.
Jack, please.
Not that plants or Greek mythology are super thrilling on their own, but with a talented writer, and most importantly, with an editor like me, you can turn them into something captivating.
Sure. I'll keep that in mind.
Why does this make me cringe so hard?
Oh, Ava, it's almost time for your interview. You should get going.
Time flies, doesn't it? All right, let's do this.
You've got this. Knock him dead.
Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to be here.
The pleasure is all mine, dear. Now, let's dive right in, shall we? Your new novel has been making quite the stir in literary circles. A fresh take on the murder mystery genre with an anti-hero at the helm. It certainly sounds like you have a bright future ahead of you.
Thank you, Bedelia. I wanted to challenge myself as a writer and...
Hold that thought, dear. Before we get into that, I simply must hear more about your fascinating life outside of literature.
My life?
Inheriting a manor must have been quite the ordeal.
Yes, it was unexpected, to say the least, but...
An old manor with its own history and dark secrets. That sounds like something straight out of one of your novels, isn't it?
It certainly was a surreal experience, but I prefer to focus on the present and my writing.
Oh, come now. Our audience loves a good story, especially one as dramatic as yours.
Well, it felt like coming home in a way. And being here has definitely inspired my second book.
Would it be accurate to say that your great-uncle's disappearance in Bhutan inspired your creativity?
What? Of course not.
I'm just pulling your leg, darling. Now, let's dive into your latest novel.
Oh, I see. Well, I've been noodling on this idea.
How was your interview?
I think it went well. Bedelia started with some odd questions about my life. But then we had a great talk about my novel.
I can't wait to see it on the air and in the papers.
I think I need some time to decompress.
Of course. Why don't you go rest for a bit? I can handle things here at the restaurant.
Are you sure?
Positive. I'll take care of everything.
I really appreciate it.
Will you be staying to assist me, Master Marlowe? Excellent. Let's begin with the rug. Not to worry, it's Cooper. We scheduled a rendezvous to discuss our strategy.
So, did you finish the homework I assigned you last night?
Indeed, I watched Love to Love, Head Over Fields, and something about star-crossed pilots.
Love at First Flight. Ah, one of my personal favourites. When he misses his chance to propose to her at the airport gate, but then flies after her. Perfection. Anyway, I've been thinking we could take a page out of the Rom-com playbook. We'll create the perfect setting for you to express your feelings to Marvin.
Go on.
You know how in rom-coms, there's always a cosy restaurant scene? Lucky for us, we're building a restaurant right now. Picture this, a candlelit dinner at the restaurant, just the two of you. Soft music playing in the background, the ambiance set to perfection. And then, at just the right moment, you pour your heart out to Marvin, telling him how you feel.
That does indeed sound romantic.
That's the idea. We make it epic, unforgettable. Marvin won't know what hit him. Now, the details. Tip number 1. Surprise is key. We need to draw Marvin to the restaurant without tipping him off about the romantic dinner.
And how do you propose we do that?
Marvin loves a good puzzle, right? We can craft a riddle with a few cryptic clues. Just like in the rom-com classic, Follow Your Chart, about love-struck statisticians. Once Marvin solves your clues, he'll know he's got to be here.
Do you think it will appear casual? I mean, he'll probably figure out that I'm behind it.
Good point. Let's brainstorm another approach. But we still need to set up a romantic ambiance in the restaurant regardless.
You're right. Let's start with tablecloths for these tables. Let's see. This one seems perfect. Now, let's spread them out and make sure they're perfectly aligned. They're quite elegant, wouldn't you say? I do hope Marvin likes them as much as we do. Sometimes I question if I truly understand him.
Olive, I know you both. Nobody understands Marvin better.
You always know how to brighten the mood. Speaking of which, how about we set the mood with some candles? Candles truly transform the ambience, don't you think? There we go. I must admit, this evening's plan has me feeling some butterflies in my stomach. Figurative butterflies, Master Marlowe. Despite years of serving, orchestrating romantic dinners was never quite in my job description. But I suppose one must adapt to new challenges.
Okay, here's another idea. We can add a touch of spontaneity to the evening. You know, a classic meet-cute moment.
A meet-cute, you say?
Exactly. Picture this. Marvin walks in, and just as he approaches his table, he stumbles upon a stray kitten.
It's too unconventional. I think we should tone it down.
Excuse me, have you seen Marvin? He's not answering his phone, and I thought he might be here, since the signal's bad.
Regrettably, no. I suspect he's at the Manor.
Ah, I understand. I intended to join him for a stroll. I'll look for him out there then.
Very well. Please extend my regards to him.
Phew. Lucky you played it cool. So, back on track with our scheme?
Must we call it a scheme?
I think we have a bit of time while Marvin is out for a stroll with Hazel. We can come up with another excuse to get him here, since the kitten idea didn't quite land. Or maybe we brainstorm what the restaurant's atmosphere is missing. You seem a bit off. Everything all right?
I'm fine. It's just Hazel's sudden appearance caught me off guard. I can't help but wonder about her intentions. Her connection with Marvin seems deeper than before. I fear it might stir up old feelings between them.
Well, I'm sure Marvin knows where his heart truly lies.
But what if he's still drawn to Hazel? What if they rekindle their romance?
Olive, listen to me. No matter what happens between Marvin and Hazel, it's essential for you to express your feelings. You've cared for Marvin deeply for so long, and he deserves to know how you feel. I know you're worried about Marvin's reaction, but you'll never know unless you give it a shot. And remember, you and Marvin have so much in common. Music, for example, it's something that always brought you together. It'll be just like that rom-com about two rival chefs who fall in love when they join a choir. Sing for your supper.
I think you're pulling my leg with these film titles.
Trust me, music is a solid foundation to build upon.
I suppose you're right.
You know what this place could use? Some musical instruments. What do you think about adding a guitar and an amp? Here we go. All right, the guitar and amp are set up, and I just came up with another meet-cute plan. We'll need a piano for this one. Picture this. Marvin walks in, sees the piano, then you casually mention how much you love hearing him play. Next thing you know, he's serenading you with a romantic tune.
It's a bit manipulative, isn't it?
Think of it as nudging fate in the right direction.
I suppose it couldn't hurt to try. Let's add the piano.
How about here for the piano? There, the piano is in place.
I hope this plan of yours works.
Trust me, everything's set. We just need to find a way to get Marvin to swing by after his stroll. I'll lure him here with some believable excuse. Then I'll vanish. And bam, you two are alone. Remember the game plan?
I'll praise his piano talents and offer him dinner, now that he's graced us with his presence.
Okay, here goes nothing. I'll go get him. Marvin's already here. Quick, I need to find a place to hide. Marlo, come with me. Stick to the plan. And good luck.
I came to assist with the renovations, but it seems you've already done an outstanding job. The place looks fantastic. You've really outdone yourself with the decor.
Well, thank you. I just felt like it needed a bit of sprucing up, you see.
It's delightful. It feels so warm and welcoming. Are you having dinner here tonight?
I was going to... I should tell you.
Yes?
Hazel was looking for you. She mentioned something about wanting to take a stroll together.
Ah, I see. I should go find her then. Thank you for letting me know.
What happened? I thought Marvin was supposed to stay for dinner.
I ended up sending him away.
But why?
I just couldn't bring myself to invite him for dinner. It felt rather improper.
Well, that didn't go as planned. But don't worry, we'll come up with another idea.
I appreciate your efforts, but no, I don't think we should try again. I have to give it all some thought.
Phew, the surveyors should be wrapping up soon. I hope everything's going smoothly with the guest house plans. And where's that blasted newspaper? The interview should be in there today. I hope it turned out okay. I mean, I just spoke from the heart, but you never know how these things will be received. Can't wait for the paper to come out. Let's set up the newspaper stand in the meantime. There, that should do it.
Hot off the press. But listen, before you dive in, just a word of warning. It's the tabloids. They can be vicious, and considering the attention you've been getting lately...
I know. Just let me read it. The scandalous heiress of the mysterious Blackwood Manor embroiled in a web of deceit? Speculation runs rampant about her involvement in her great-uncle's disappearance. Can you believe this? They're painting me as some sort of villain. Ugh! They've even managed to twist my court case into something sensational. Barely a mention of my new novel.
I'm so sorry. Tabloids will be tabloids. They're after the juiciest bits.
I can't believe it. It's an unknown number. It was some pesky journalist. I wonder how he found my number. I'll just let it go to voicemail. I can't deal with him right now.
Huh?
Looks like we have company. There are photographers outside.
Ava dear, are you all right? There's a huge swarm of paparazzi in the yard.
Yeah, I'm fine. I need to calm down. Can't believe this is happening again. You remember the last time I had to deal with the media, right? It was a nightmare.
Hey, you've handled it before, and you'll handle it again. I'm not sure how else to lift your spirits. But here's a thought. Renovations.
You're onto something there. Let's keep ourselves busy. And maybe we can distract ourselves from the chaos out there.
The chaos. You know what? Adding some lighting to the restaurant might just help with that.
If you don't mind, I'd like to stay and help you.
Okay, let's ignore those creeps. These lights will definitely help set the mood.
They are perfect. Thanks for the idea.
Ugh, those flashbulbs from the paparazzi are blinding. I'm starting to feel like a fish in a bowl.
They're hounding me like I'm some sort of criminal. I never expected it to be this bad.
The British tabloid press is notoriously vicious. They'll stop at nothing to sell a story. It's not your fault, dear. Cordelia twisted your words and sensationalized everything.
I should have known better than to trust her.
Don't blame yourself. You were just trying to promote your book.
Now it feels like I've become the story, not the novel.
If we're putting on a show, let's at least add some stage curtains. Can I offer some advice? What about something with a soft, diffused light? Maybe something that can be adjusted, depending on the mood we want to create.
I like that idea. Let's look for lamps with dimmer switches or adjustable settings.
These lamps look great.
I think they really tie everything together.
You know, I've never dabbled much in interior design, but this is surprisingly enjoyable. It takes me back to the days when I used to keep my ranch in order. It feels wonderful to see how your efforts transform this lake house into a cozy retreat. Truly, I'm pleased to see this house serving a new purpose now. Let's hope it brings joy to its residents this time around.
Oh, I've had it with this nonsense.
We need curtains that complement the vibe we're going for.
Agreed. Nothing too bold or distracting.
You might want them to blend in, but still add a touch of elegance.
I wish they were on the windows to block out those paparazzi flashes. I think these will be perfect.
This is absurd. You shouldn't have to deal with this kind of intrusion. Where's the respect for personal space? These vultures with their cameras need to back off.
I know, Coop. It's overwhelming.
Unfortunately, that's the price of fame, but it doesn't make it any less infuriating.
But it's not just about fame. This is about basic respect. Ava deserves to have her privacy respected, just like anyone else.
Our renovations have helped ease my nerves a bit, but it looks like you're still on edge.
How could I not be? It's more than just an inconvenience. What if they twist your words, or misinterpret some of the photos they take? I don't want them spreading false stories, or portraying you in a light that's not true. It could damage your reputation.
Seems like you can't kill something that's already dead, huh?
My dear, while we can't control their actions, we can control how we respond to them.
I can't ignore it. Hazel was right. We shouldn't just tolerate this. We need to respond. I'll get rid of them right now. You won't believe what just happened. I went out there to try and shoo away the paparazzi, and I accidentally nudged a photographer. Next thing I know, they're swarming around me, snapping photos like crazy.
Actually, we saw almost everything. Are you okay?
Physically, yes. Mentally, not so much. I was just trying to protect you from all this chaos, but now I've become part of it.
This isn't going to end well.
Oh, I'm sorry, Ava. I think I just made things worse.
That's okay. You were only trying to help. But next time, instead, maybe let's send Marlowe out to charm unwanted guests. Oh, great. My phone is still blowing up.
What's wrong?
There's already social media posts from the journalists outside. Ava Mendez's unhinged bloke viciously attacks paparazzi.
Unhinged bloke? That's not true. Exactly?
I believe you said something about how this wasn't going to end well.
Okay, I just gotta think. Jeez, you guys weren't kidding about British press.
It could be worse. You could be one of the royals. I mean, back to the point at hand.
This is all going sideways so fast. I just wanted a fresh start for my new book.
I'm terribly sorry for how Bedelia has treated you. I suppose we should have seen it coming back at school. Bedelia got the student play shut down by writing an exposé about how Romeo was cheating on Juliet with a nurse.
That sounds unfortunate.
Wasn't so bad. I was the nurse.
Guys, we need a plan. Great. It seems like these online stories are just getting started. They're already calling Cooper the gonzo groundskeeper.
That's unfortunately catchy.
We're not even getting anything done on the restaurant here. Menus. That's something, right?
Restaurants do need 'em.
Okay, that helped a little. But it's time for us to call in the big guns.
Oh no. You mean...
I'm afraid I do.
This is ridiculous. I'm a grown man. And yet here I am, afraid my girlfriend's publisher is going to be cross with me.
Oh, she'll be cross with both of us. But I'm also sure she'll know what to do.
While you make your call, Marlowe and I will stay to tidy up some odds and ends.
Thanks so much. Be good for Hazel, buddy. You ready, Coop?
Not even a little bit.
In spite of the circus outside, this restaurant is shaping up nicely. I do hope Ava's publisher is not too hard on her. You're not looking for Ava, are you? She just stepped out to have an uncomfortable call with her publisher.
No doubt about that rabble taking photos out by the front lawn.
At least they seem to have taken their leave, for now.
Actually, I came here to have a talk with you.
Well, certainly. What's on your mind, Olive?
I'd like to discuss Marvin.
Ah, I see. You know that you can talk to me about anything.
Yes, I do know that. And yet, with something this delicate. I find myself feeling uncertain.
Would it help to work on Ava's restaurant? To keep our hands occupied?
Ah, you do know me well.
Then it's settled. What should we work on?
Well, this restaurant needs a reception area. I could recount my disastrous plan from earlier, or perhaps set up the stage lights.
I see how you snuck that second option in there.
Any good restaurant needs somewhere for guests to wait.
Agreed. Let's tackle that.
I'm thinking a menu board would look good up front.
Indeed. Somewhere to write the day's specials.
At the risk of stating the obvious, with regards to Marvin, I've felt apprehensive about following my feelings for him ever since your return.
Ah, I understand, and I'm sorry to hear that.
It's quite all right, and I feel better for having said that aloud. Now, as for this menu board...
You always were all business, Olive.
Arr, arr.
Next, I suppose a host's podium is in order?
I must confess, I cannot help but be intrigued by a disastrous plan.
Oh, I suppose I'd have to explain it sooner or later. Last night, when you arrived here at the restaurant looking for Marvin...
Yes?
I was also here, looking to connect with him. Young Cooper was assisting me in engineering something called a meet-cute from out of his romantic comedy films.
Rom-coms? Olive, I've never seen you watch anything from after 1960.
Yes, I suppose it was a departure from my usual oeuvre. The whole endeavour felt manipulative to me, though Cooper insisted we were merely nudging fate in the right direction.
And in the end, you couldn't go through with it. Ah, he did seem somewhat perplexed at his encounter here in the restaurant.
I suppose, in retrospect, my careful plan was simply just self-sabotage.
Oh, Olive. Even when you work against yourself, you work harder than anyone I know.
Thank you for that.
We'll need somewhere for the host to greet guests.
Indeed. Perhaps right here? Actually, speaking of serving stations, that's partly why I've felt so apprehensive since your return. Make no mistake, I'm overjoyed to see you again, and for us to reconnect. But as to matters relating to Marvin and you, I'm reminded that, well, in our little group, I've always felt somewhat like the help.
Olive, I had no idea. I assure you, not once in our years of friendship have I ever seen you that way. You are my dearest friend, and an equal, and a remarkable soul.
Thank you. Do understand, I trust every word you're saying. And yet, in the back of my mind, I sometimes see myself as merely a servant. Often our own insecurities are the hardest to escape.
Oh, Olive, thank you for being so brave as to share this with me.
Sharing is what one does with their dearest friend. I suppose the crux of the whole matter is that I'm afraid.
Afraid of what?
I'm afraid that through my own actions, I'll somehow lose Marvin. Or that I'll end up losing you again. Or both.
I can assure you, our friendship is one of the greatest treasures of my life. My falling out of touch for so many years, that is one of my gravest regrets.
Mine as well.
But we're back together now. And all it took was Marvin developing amnesia from a near-death avalanche in Bhutan.
Is that all it took?
I vow, whatever happens, we will continue to renew our friendship.
As do I, dear friend.
Goodness, we've forgotten all about the restaurant.
Splendid. My worries are already feeling much lighter.
Ha! There's the old Olive I remember, who occasionally lets out a true groaner of a joke.
You bring them out of me, Hazel.
Well, this restaurant is finally starting to look complete.
I'm glad we talked directly, Hazel. All of these wacky schemes and such, they weren't me. The help was still appreciated, Marlowe.
I'm also glad we talked, Olive. Rest assured, nothing could come between us, not even a boy. In this situation, my feelings are irrelevant. I cannot give you permission to go after Marvin. You have to believe that you deserve to and take a leap of faith.
You're right. I wish you weren't, but you're right. I also want you to know that, whatever happens, I will be here for you.
May I walk you back to the manor?
Absolutely. Marlowe, I think I hear Ava coming. You'll stay, won't you?
Listen, Victor, I don't have time for one of your surprise drop-ins. Hey, boy. I just got chewed out across 2 hemispheres by Veruca. Now I have to sit on my hands while she tries to fix my whole media mess.
What you do with the tawdry tabloids is none of my concern. Or interest, frankly. I'm here because I feel that my restaurant is lacking sufficient theatricality.
Your restaurant? Oh.
Yes, I brought some tasteful items from home that I believe will create suitable atmosphere. Do you get it? Suitable? They're suits of armour.
That's why you dropped in unannounced to set up antique suits of armor? I mean, they do look sorta cool. But will you please stop? That's it. We're going to get to the bottom of this.
I beg your pardon.
I have had a rotten day. Maybe it's my publisher offering to send me to basic media lessons. Or maybe it's the British tabloids dubbing me the Blackwood O, which is supposed to be a play on Black Widow. And doesn't even make sense because Marvin is my uncle, and he's alive. My day has been full of things I can't actually confront, but you're right here, and we are going to talk this thing out.
Talk what thing out?
You say you're meddling here only because you love murder mystery dinner theater so much. I think there's more to it than that. So tell me, Victor. What is your deal?
Well, I would much rather lay out some of these mystery implements.
Oh, you can play with all the props you want, but we're going to talk like adults.
As I was saying, I'm far more concerned with the verisimilitude of our theatrical mystery. You see,
I'm a writer. I know what verisimilitude means.
Yes, well, as a writer of mysteries, I presume you're familiar with the classics?
Ooh, a knife. Is that also from your personal collection? Gonna stab someone else in the back with it,
Hardly. It's purchased from a costume boutique. It's merely rubber. What has gotten into you?
Oh, you mean you don't like when people get tough with you? That seems pretty rich, doesn't it, Marlowe?
I'm feeling a bit unbalanced. I could use a chair.
Just a chair? I could make you a whole sofa, but we're going to talk. You think you're so scary. You mess with Uncle Marvin's head, then you steal the deed to the lake house?
That deed belongs to the Hindley family.
But answer me this. All last month, you keep threatening to bulldoze the lake house. But you never did. Then you got all excited about the theater. So what's your real reason?
I told you. I'm invested in this endeavour. Plus, I'm enjoying toying with you.
Nah, I don't think that's it. I think there's another reason why you won't stop hanging around. You're gonna set things up in my restaurant? Well, two can play at that game. Maybe I'll just put a sofa down right here. Actually, a sofa would be a really smart addition to the waiting area. But I'm mostly doing it because I'm mad. So, Mr. Business Partner, do you have a sofa preference?
Miss Mendes, please, leave me out of your childishness.
I like that one too. There. Care to have a seat and explain why you are so insufferable?
I believe I will take that seat. Pardon me.
You know what they say. If you can't handle the heat, get out of the restaurant.
Huh?
Back to the matter at hand. Why won't you just go away, Victor? You got another scheme up your magician's sleeve?
I'm not looking to go away. That is, I'm entitled to be here. My friend Marvin is here, and I finally have the deed. We Hindleys...
Your friend? Marvin told you to leave, pretty definitely.
Yes, but that was in the heat of the moment. You'll see reason. Hazel is back. Can be like old times again.
Huh?
Victor, are you trying to repair your friendship with Marvin?
Huh?
Victor, if I'm understanding you correctly, it's natural to want things to be the way they were. But it's not going to be possible for you to be a part of Uncle Marvin's life, to be a part of this world, if you insist on controlling everything and everyone. But that's not to say things can't change if you let them.
Huh?
Yes, I'm hearing you. I want to...
Yeah?
I want to take my leave. Good day to you both.
Wow, I thought we were just going to yell at each other again. I did not expect things to get so real.
Huh?
Woof, indeed. What a day. Well, in spite of all that drama, this place turned out pretty great.
Huh?
Oh, one thing this restaurant is missing, though?
Huh?
There. Can't have a restaurant without a sign. Now all we need is a bunch of customers.
Huh? Huh?
Apparently, the surveyors found something buried under the earth, right where the guest house is going to be built. Let's go check it out.
Huh?
Watch your step down, Marlowe.
Huh?
Let's get some light on. This is why I keep matches around. Whoa!
Huh? Huh?
There's a whole cellar here, under the grass, completely undisturbed. Uncle Marvin and Olive never said anything about this. This place looks like it must be 200 years old, at least.
Huh?
Yep, it definitely smells 200 years old. There's letters and journals. I wonder who left these here.
Huh? Huh?
What do you see, boy? Oh, wow, there's an old painting. Let's blow some of the dust off of it carefully. Phew. You said it, Marlowe. Achoo! Oh my gosh! I don't believe it! This old painting? She looks just like me? She must be my ancestor. Wait, there's a little plaque underneath. 1822. Ava Bell Hinley?